Hi, I'm Adam Parker, Territory Manager with Maizex Seeds, coming today from Huron County with Drudge Farms. I have Jeff and Jerry Drudge here, talking to you today about some cover crops. We're in their home farm, in their cornfield here, where we have a market development plot with Maizex. A little bit of interesting stuff going on here with regarding cover crops and no-till. So we're just going to ask Jeff here for what's the field history is here.
Hi everyone. So we planted this cornfield May the 18th. It was wheat last year. July the 20th we got the straw off and we planted a multi-species cover crop here, and including oats and peas and rye and clover and sunflowers and a few other things like that. And so that cover crop grew up fairly well last fall. Some of the species died off, and this spring when we planted it there was still rye and some hairy vetch growing, and we planted it green into that on May the 18th.
Perfect. So Jerry, when we got here this spring, the field was still green. Can you tell us about some of the things that you do to make that work for you guys, as well as some of the challenges that you would face or that you would have to overcome to deal with this?
We had to wait till the field was dry, just like everybody else, and it was a tough spring in that way. But once the field was dry, we just went in and planted, and then later on burned it off. So it's worked well. We have there's been some learning curves along the way, but we made it work.
So on a wet spring like this, I feel that there was probably some advantages to having a cover crop in place. Can you allude to some of the advantages that you see having cover crops, especially on a spring like this?
Well, there's a better carrying capacity for the soil with the cover crop no-till scenario, and I think that starts the fall before, where that helps us carry the equipment across the field, because sometimes harvest happens when the fields aren't that dry. But in the spring we always wait till they're dry. So I think the soil dries out better when it hasn't been abused so much the fall before. So in that regard, the cover crops and the no-till really helps us out.
Would you say that, well, I would say that in driving around this spring did see a fair bit of erosion with gullies and just the amount of rainfall that we have had. Would you say that this is a huge advantage for your potentially erosion? There is some rolling topography behind us.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen an advantage there now. The spring we're fortunate not to have huge rain events right in this immediate area, but in times past when we have, it has definitely saved a lot of soil and kept it where it's supposed to be.
Perfect. And can you just tell everybody what you do use for your planter setup, just because this is not tilled soil, so is there any modifications you guys have done?
We took just a planter from the factory. It's a Case IH 1255 front fold planter, and we added row cleaners and a frame mounted coulter, and that's it.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank you for taking the time to chat with us today. Thanks for tuning in to us, and we'll see you next time on Maizex Moving.